morning, ladies. Hey, morning, sir. Good morning. Come on. Come on.
It's not always going to be exactly like this in the shower, okay? So the reason that we're having you practice these drills is so that you know that you're in control of your pig and they're going to listen to you and do what you want them to do. So it's just one way for you to increase how well trained your animal is at home so that you're ready in the show ring. So, pretty simple deal. The cones are numbered. What Blaine is going to do before don't move, just pause. We'll talk kind of through it. So what Blaine's going to do is we're going to imagine that I am the judge. So Blaine is going to start kind of wide over here, okay? And so he's going to go ahead and get started, and he's going to drive from cone 1 towards cone 2, driving at the judge at an angle. He's going to get a little right here, go back towards cone 3, so now I have a rear angle. He's going to do an inside turn with his beach ball around cone 3. He's going to get to cone 4, and then he's going to drive straight at the judge. All right, so just in a few moments, I saw the front view, the rear view, the side view, and a direct front view again. All right, so our goal as showmen is to not just make really long passes back and forth in front of the judge. You can just keep running through. It's not to just keep running, making long passes back and forth in front of the judge. It's to show the judge, especially in showmanship, how well trained your animal is, and that you can fill in those empty spots in the show ring. You can show off all the views, all the angles of your animal, so that the judge just knows how much work you put in at home. So how many of you, raise your hand, think that your animals could do this today? Right? It's going to be kind of hard, especially some of your pigs won't keep moving. And that's the biggest thing. When you're home training, you need to practice. When you have them out, don't just let them stop and start when you're training. When you get them out to walk them, you're getting out to work them. All right? You are working those hogs. So anytime they leave the pen, you can stop. Anytime you leave the pen, game face on, getting those animals trained. You're not just stopping whenever you want to let them get a break, because that is a habit that they will get used to, so then when they're in the show ring, they'll want to start and stop, and we want to avoid that for you, all right? So, I'm going to have Blaine go back to the beginning, and if I'm the judge, yesterday we talked about not getting too far away from the judge, so I have Blaine kind of posted up a little far out here. Why is it good for Blaine to start? What can Blaine do as a showman from that far away? What can he see? So, yes, Miss Tana.
So if Blaine starts further away from the judge, he can take a quick look at the whole ring and figure out where those open holes are, so he can make a plan to get to those open holes while also showing all angles of his pig.
Yes, and if a bunch of pigs are coming this way and Blaine's out here, because he has his pig trained to either speed up or slow down, he can either get ahead of them, or he can walk a little further this way, get around the group, and then come at the judge. All right? So, by being that far back, he's able to see where the other pieces are, where the other showmen are in the show ring, and then he can plan his attack. His goal as a showman is to spend as much one-on-one time in eye contact with the judge. Blaine's trying to make an impact on me out here. He wants me to remember who he is, and he wants he wants the judge to stand out. I mean, that's all showmanship is how much can you stand out and do the right things on the show ring. So if Blaine comes out in the first tee and he's making this V formation and he's showing me all his views and angles and I'm getting really good looks at his animal and we have major eye contact, I'm going to be looking for him in the next heats because I want to see what else that he can do. All right, so by starting a little wide, he's able to get a plan of attack, and then he can come on in again, right? So he's staring me down, really staring me down, love to see it, all right? Going back, we're gonna do an inside turn, so turning in, like, into your knees, doing a side view, and then he's driving straight at the judge. Now when Blaine gets back here, it's up to him to figure out what the next move he wants to make is, all right? And when you're in the show ring, it's not gonna be a perfect V formation. It's just a good habit to get into using the space that you have in front of you. Because yesterday, with only 7 pigs in the ring, there were a lot of you, your pigs kept clumping together, and that's because they probably wanted to be with their buds. Those pigs did, but our goal today, and we're gonna really, really work on it, is we are going to use all of the show ring, and we're not gonna run into other pigs in the show ring. There's more than enough space out here for you to not have to deal with other animals, okay? So we're gonna really work on that, and we're gonna really, 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 really work on our eye contact, all right? We're really gonna work on our eye contact today, and I know that a lot of you know to look at us, but you're worried about what your pig is doing. So, once that animal is trained, you don't have to worry about that pig in the show ring. You shouldn't have to keep looking down to see them. So as they get bigger and you're working with them more and they get more familiar with being in a show ring, you don't have to worry about them quite as much. Okay, any questions about this V formation? Beautiful. We're going to go into crossovers now. So we're going to have Miss Bertha, Jessica. If you want to pull Bertha, and I will be the judge. So, we lost a counselor. I thought she just went over there to play, so it's fine. All right, so Bertha here is really great because she's going to listen to us. Well, we'll see. Loop it back down and pull from the bottom one. Thank you. You don't have to, you can just. It's Georgia, she knows. All right. So, Bertha's going to listen to us, and what we're going to practice is crossovers, and that means ways that if the judge is trying to get you to ruin that ham sandwich. So how many of you have been in a final drive where the judge tries to get you to cross over? They do a circle around you, trying to get you to mess up. It's a pretty common deal because that's a really easy way for the judge to sort out when it comes to those final drives. How's that going, Jessica?
Great work. Hey now.
All right, so we're going to practice these with Miss Bertha this morning, and what we're going to do before we get started, I'm going to be the judge and Blaine's our showman. First, before we start, when we're going through this, watch how calmly Blaine walks around the front of the animal and how calmly he steps around the back end of the animal, all right? So that is a huge note I want to make. So you can go ahead and start pulling. Okay, so as the judge, I'm going to do a circle around Blaine, and he's not going to break our ham sandwich. So right now, pause. I am just looking at the rear view of the pig. So the time that you walk around the front is when the judge crosses over to the other side of the animal. So there's a chance your judge is just trying to get a rear view. All right, so don't go around the front until the judge crosses all the way over. Okay, we'll do one round and then we'll go in more into depth. All right, get it moving. All right, Blaine. All right, slow step around front. Nice and easy. Bertha can probably move a little faster. All right, and he's just gonna pop right around that rear view, rear end. All right, and again, nice and easy step around front. So, when the judge is doing circles, all Blaine is doing is calmly either stepping around the front or stepping around the rear end of Bertha. So let's go through it one more time. Don't run around the front end, even though you feel like you gotta hustle to get around, all right? So you're watching the judge, so you can kind of see that this attack is coming, all right? So Blaine is not stepping around the front until I am crossing all the way over, okay? You don't want to make more work for yourself. So there's a chance your judge is just trying to get a rear view of that pig, and if that's the case, you don't need to go to all that effort to run around the front if you're just trying to look at the rear view of your animal as a judging perspective, all right? So it's a pretty simple deal here with Bertha, but with your actual pig, it becomes a little harder, all right? So we're gonna practice this here with Bertha. Just a few notes. So eye contact is really important. Yesterday we talked about it helps you know where the judge is. When it comes to those final judges, or final classes, or final drive, a lot of time you can the judge will start doing this and the judge will do this to everybody in the ring pretty quickly in my experience. So the judge will come and start walking around them to try and get them to make a mistake, okay? So by watching the judge, you can kind of see that it's coming. And for you older kids, what you want to try and do at that time is set yourself up for success by being in an open space in the middle of the ring. So if the judge starts to come up and do a circle around you and you're getting close to the corner, that's going to be an issue for you because you've now run out of space, things are a little overcomplicated, there's probably another pig that's already tired in the corner that now you have extra obstacles. So if you can see the judge starting to make these moves, try and set yourself up for success by being in a space where you have a little more space to achieve what you want to, all right? So does anybody have any questions about crossovers? All right, we're all gonna work on not ruining our ham sandwiches today. All right, so ham sandwiches, eye contact, and nice long passes in the show ring. That's something I really want to focus on right now. If the counselors, we're just gonna everybody get a beach ball and a utensil. And you can ignore the cones in the ring. But counselors, I want you to all four of you to demonstrate, thank you, to demonstrate how long of passes I want you to take in front of me. All right? So as showmen, one, they all have the same start moment, but they're all going to get spread out here, fill in these holes, and they're going to make long passes. Hannah's all the way over here. She's going to do an inside turn, get back in front of me, right? Making nice, long, smooth passes in front of the judge. Don't stop in front of the judge and cut back. We want it to look effortless out here, so nice, long passes in front of the judge. And they're pretty spread out, right? They're just making nice, long, smooth passes, and that's something that we can all work on. So thank you guys. When you're at home, if it's a habit that you need to break, where you're not making long passes in front of the judge, so that it doesn't look choppy out there, set up cones, set up buckets, and do something to get your pig trained to make those longer turns, all right? Go around them, practice your big wide turns, because it's just going to look like a nice, fluid, smooth motions out there, and that's going to set you apart from other showmen, okay? So get those